I was only in my cocoon in my past tenure with Oracle. And only within the boundaries confined by my role, not trying anything new, rather trying to find out things within that ecosystem only, and trying to fit in the bill somewhere. That yes, if somebody has given me as a challenge, then I need to prove myself, rather than evaluating whether is it something really meant for me or not. Or in crisp manner, I would say I have learned to choose my battles. There are people who have messaged me saying that I was reading a book and I thought about you. And thank you so much for bringing the difference in my life. And that's where it started, my gratitude journey, that it is very important to be thankful for everything universe has bestowed you with. I was determined to live that time, Varun. I think I would say that very clearly. I took this as a challenge that yes, I have to come out of it for my parents, for sure, for my brother, for sure. And I had to work to support my treatment. It was very important. Financially, there was a moment when I perished in terms of my strength after the surgery. And there were moments when I just want to die also.
Okay, welcome to another episode of The Broader Pattern. And today I have with me Heena Saini. Hi, Heena.
Hi, Varun. Thank you so much for having me here with you.
How are you doing today?
Very well. Excellent, rather. Thank you so much.
I'm, super excited to do this. I remember back in the previous organization in Cisco, we did do something together
Yes.
where we addressed a lot of university students and stuff. So it was like very, very exciting. So when I thought of doing this episode with you, there was already this excitement that was kicking in. And now to actually have you with me on this episode, I'm just super thrilled.
Likewise. Totally.
Awesome. फिर क्या चल रहा है अभी आजकल?
आजकल life is happening, I would say.
Okay.
And I'm excited about life.
And how is it like? What is your definition of happening?
A lot of peace in mind, a lot of satisfaction with the things happening around.
Okay.
And a constant growth on the professional side, which I'm seeing. So yeah, overall, in totality, universe is bestowing with blessings and I am just grabbing them.
Awesome. And I think you moved to the new company. I mean, though it's not a new company for you, you have been a legend in this company already in Oracle.
Yeah.
It's just like a homecoming for you, maybe. So how has that been?
It's an exciting journey. Today is what, 19th? Yes. So coming another month, I will finish 1 year already after my homecoming. Yes.
Oh, wow.
And a new face. Not faces, of course, of people, but a new journey altogether, new growth in career, new learnings. And I keep tapping on the opportunity because one of the good things what happened is the decision of going out, because I questioned my status quo after being in an organization for 10 years. And I think that was one blessing in disguise, a hard decision to take because you just come out of your comfort zone where everything was at the plethora of your feet. And you try to just discard it and go in your non-comfort area, try to explore new avenues without knowing whether you will flourish or you will diminish. And I think I fairly did well. The good part is I have unleashed the potential what was hidden in me after coming out from there. And with those new learning, I am starting this new phase. I have my new set of boundaries. I have new set of, the growth aims. And I can say it with confidence and conviction to people that what is absolute no, and what is there I'm signing in for. So, and which is completely accepted and respected, which I was either somewhere afraid or scared to say it in the prior tenure. So a good decision of homecoming, as you mentioned, and looking forward to the years ahead. Let's see.
So you said unleashing potential that were already there in you, right? So what specific aspects are you talking about that you have discovered only now?
So one is, I was only in my cocoon in my past tenure with Oracle.
Mhm.
And like only within the boundaries confined by my role, not trying anything new, rather trying to find out things within that ecosystem only, and trying to fit in the bill somewhere. That yes, if somebody has given me as a challenge, then I need to prove myself, rather than evaluating whether is it something really meant for me or not. Or in crisp manner, I would say I have learned to choose my battles, and have learned that not every battle is worth fighting for. You can leave few, and you can tap on few, which can help you gain new learnings in life. Not necessarily a win or lose should be the aim of a battle.
Okay.
It's either win or it's learning. So that's something what I have certainly learned. 6.5 years after which I was back, and those 6.5 years I worked with two different set of organizations. One was in a customer facing role directly, and another was a complete new zone, which again I questioned myself on my comfort zone, is information security. I was from an IT infrastructure background and moved to an information security when I joined Cisco. Again questioning my own comfort zone. So apart from choosing your battle, the second lesson learned was that keep questioning your why, that why you exist, and keep questioning that you should not get settled. There's a tagline of one plus phone, never settle. So I think there's a lot to learn from those two words. And try exploring new things, because you don't know what is your hidden potential. And it gives me that wow factor. Oh, wow, I can still do this. The new challenges, new people, new situations, new learnings, and it should always be there. I'm a people person, so it helped me explore those things.
Awesome. So did it happen to you as well? Like, let's say you mentioned, right, first 10 years you were in Oracle, and you were in your cocoon, right? So ऐसा भी होता है, did you feel कि when you came out of Oracle, right, and you joined Cisco, you were able to evaluate that journey of Oracle, कि how that tenure exactly went by, like an outside view of, हम बोलते हैं ना, एक outside in view होता है once you step back and look at things. So did it happen to you that, once you stepped out of Oracle and then looking at your journey, okay, I could have done this differently, I could have done that, या मुझे ऐसे करना चाहिए था, or where you were just fine with whatever learnings you've had, and you were more excited to the new learnings that you would be looking forward to in Cisco? What was your whole view like when you switched?
So when I switched, one thing I promised to myself, Varun, which I still remember, and I fortunately continue to do that in the second innings with Oracle, that I was a workaholic back then. And Oracle blessed me with a lot of opportunities, a good growth, lot of exposure, global exposure. I had best set of leaders. I still have, fortunately. And I was given that wings to try new things, and allowed to make mistakes with a pinch of salt, of course. And there was enough being given from the leadership. Only thing is, I was scared of trying new things outside of that ecosystem. My world was completely work and Oracle. even different things what I tried in terms of the public speaking platform, wherein I joined Toastmasters. I became the founder of one of the club at Oracle, and then various other activities. I was heading the employee club as secretary and treasurer at one point in time. So those activities also again within the Oracle system, and somewhere it gets to your head that you are something कि आप top हो.
अच्छा.
होता है मतलब when there are so many people who are acknowledging your efforts, trying to give you those appreciation every now and then, and not fake appreciation, genuine appreciation, because I know I was giving 150% to the task I was on, be it on the work side of my responsibility or be it on this extracurricular activities what I was involved as part of my Oracle network, and I kept multiplying my network again within Oracle. I never knew that what exists out of this ocean. So when I got that opportunity to explore out and I could crack that interview, which was also a big deal for me, because almost after a decade I was giving an interview.
Okay, like that.
Updating my resume itself was something difficult for me because I was doing so many things. But when it comes to writing down on paper that exactly what you are doing, it became a challenge. So these things I realized within those 2 months, 1 month of my notice period and 1 month of that interview preparation and giving and trying for the new role, etc., that somewhere there's a miss. Somewhere I am being overconfident of the caliber what I have. Not that I bring less to the table, but I need to constantly keep refining it. It's like, might be a wrong or right comparison, but why people buy iPhone? I'm not an iPhone person and I totally hate Apple, but still taking this as an analogy, they just do the feature, they just make their camera feature better with every release on here and there small tweaks, but still people go for that new one. Similarly for Samsung or similarly for any other mobile provider, right? The whole point is that you need to keep adding value to your existence, keep building your own brand. And that realization came in those 2 months, that I was not adding value by being in the same thing. I need to increase my network, making sure still having my boundaries, that you get lost also in the world, right? You should not run behind the fame. So I was very cognizant and mindful of those boundaries, but very important to continue my learning growth. And that's when it happened that I made sure that every year I started doing one kind of certification on learning, which add value to my overall growth mindset. See, it's one thing is doing a certification, another thing is application of your learning. So that is equally important. So make sure that what you're putting your hands into and find the relevant learning for that. And 6 years, it was constant. And never knew that universe will come in full circle, wherein I will get the call back of, yeah, there's an opportunity. Would you like to take a chance? But never happened like with a piece of a cakewalk. I had to go through 6 rounds of rigorous interviews to get through the selection process and then again start the second ED.
Nice. And what are you doing currently exactly at Oracle?
So designation says as Senior Principal Program Manager. However, I am with the Managed Cloud Services and work on their any kind of strategic programs or closely knitting with the executive leadership, making sure any kind of initiatives we are taking. So tracking those, any kind of process optimization, improvisation, all those in alignment to the strategic goal of operations. So I'm on the other side of the grass, not towards the sales side, but once the customer is on board, how the complete life cycle is maintained, right from their run and maintenance to the exit from the organization. We work in that domain with the managed cloud services.
So like for specific projects, or is it like what is that customer comes For?
They comes for different infrastructure and managed cloud services of Oracle products.
Okay.
So we don't work for specific projects. It's multiple customers and their different services and product, what they tie with. Like we have plethora of projects in terms of e-business suite. We have PeopleSoft, we have Hyperion, Siebel. So all of them work on different run and maintenance, that there are quarterly patches, then there is the maintenance activity, any kind of their bounce of the infrastructure, all those things. There are teams who are working on it, but I work on the program wherein in terms of making sure that the things are tight across.
Okay.
In alignment with the executive leadership.
Okay. So basically kind of having a close
on automation initiative, like there are multiple redundant manual process happening. So what are the different automation initiatives? How we can do the process improvisation? So tracking those end to end, that are we on the timelines or not? So basically the program and the project management of those things.
Okay, awesome. If I go back in time a little bit, back in the Cisco days, where basically I first met you, right? What was that like? Because you were not just involved in your work. I know you were involved in a lot of things in Cisco, right? I think there were a lot of, we used to call it EROs in Cisco. And I think you have been running quite a few of them, and very, very successfully, and very enthusiastically, in that sense where, you would not just run those, instead, in fact, go on to inspire people to, join hands and take out time from their busy lives and contribute to whatever extent they can. So how was that whole Cisco journey for you, along with your work and all those things that were happening?
Cisco journey, if I have to say in few words, it allowed me to explore myself beyond what Heena exists as part of work. Because Cisco gives any employee a chance to go beyond the boundaries of their work responsibility. Thanks to those EROs, employee resource organization, what they have, and in ample amount, that a person gets in complete opportunity to network beyond their team, to know a larger ecosystem which exists within Cisco, to network and learn from each other's capabilities and still explore that hidden side of others' personality. And in this journey, you explore yourself also, because when you observe people, when you hear them out, eventually, you become the people you are with, the books you read, the content you watch, and the kind of conversations you have. So Cisco gives that holistic improvement of growth to any person if the opportunity is tapped upon, and which I felt after I left Cisco. Because right now with Oracle, I am only doing work. One is I have a lot of responsibilities in hand, so really don't want to touch base on multiple other avenues. But back at Cisco, like within 1 month of leaving Cisco, I realized that I was doing so much apart from work. And suddenly that space is filled only with the work and other schedules. So I felt that there are many people within my own team, which I was part of. There are many people who were not even aware of the avenues what Cisco was providing. They were working like how I was working back at Oracle in my previous role, and I could compare it because I was one such person. But at least I had the know-how of the ecosystem and participative of different things. But there are people who are absolutely not aware. And Cisco gives you that development opportunity of growth as an individual, not just as a professional. That's what I learned.
But kya motivate kya karta tha ki, to get into so many other aspects other than work? Like I'll give you my example, right? I think back in the days, I was definitely working maybe 14, 15 hours a day. Okay. And I'm not very proud of it when I say that, right? It's not something that that I would encourage anyone, but then I know I was. And it was out of sheer enthusiasm for my work, right? There was no pressure from anyone that, my manager is coming and telling me, hey, you have to work these many hours. And this is something I'm talking about in the later part of my career, not the early part. Early part mein shayad main kaam hi nahi karta tha. But I'm talking about the last few years.
When the growth happens,
Yeah, when the growth happened, when the last few years, when the responsibility came in and stuff like that. So somewhere I was really enjoying that whole work, whole responsibility. And maybe for me, I think it was also being in that limelight, you can say, right? And I can be very candid about this, that I do maybe kind of एक होता है कि मुझे वो लाइमलाइट भी मिल रही है, मुझे वो responses मिल रहे हैं, मुझे दिख रहा है वो लोगों से, what am I doing? And I think it kept building on and on and on, and I kept getting into this whole thing. And I was working really long hours without feeling tired, because I was so happy with what was happening. But I still don't know what was that encouraging factor. मेरा वो motivation क्या था कि मैं ठीक है, मुझे मजा आ रहा है, वो तो अच्छी बात है, right? I'm enjoying my work, that's why but what is that motivation? Why am I motivated to feel happy about what I was doing? I still sometimes I feel I don't have an answer. For you, how was it basically?
Okay, so I have always been, right, especially from my early career days. Prior to Oracle, I was with AXA. And I have never been very closely knit to my own immediate team. Closely knit, as I say, that I'm a teams person. Yeah. People do vouch for me, look upon to me and stuff like that. But I have always tried to build the network outside the team, to know the people outside of the team. One is very simple. It allows you to stay away from your immediate team politics. And have been very mindful of that, honestly telling, on a very open platform, because that's the way you can still continue to have a healthy camaraderie without getting into gossips and still add value. So I think in the very first job of mine, a very senior sales executive has taught me this, that try to build a network outside so that you can continue to flourish in your own team in a healthy manner. So it's like, keep your eyes and ears open, use them wisely, 2 eyes and 2 ears, single mouth. So please use the ratio appropriately, see more, listen more, and talk less in your own team, and try to build the network outside. So what motivated me to continue working, and I'm a workaholic, a good amount of workaholic, but now with a balance that I don't work anymore 14 to 15 hours, like how you said. I used to be like this in my past role with Oracle. 14 to 15 hours is less. I used to work 16 to 18 hours also and just sleep and get up. There are leaders who have asked me, when do you sleep? Can you please tell us? So for work, my motivation was that, I used to work on the projects, that timelines, that I have to achieve it before it is said, or what are the issues we are facing. We should be ahead of the game and make sure that things are being told before proactively and all. So that used to be my driving factor, that the numbers, the timelines in terms of the quantifiable numbers, how well I can project it, how soon I can achieve it, how soon I can be helpful to the customer, be a problem solver, stuff like that. That was on the work side. On these extracurricular activity side, I would say back at Oracle also, and then moving to Cisco also, when I was leading the cancer support network in Cisco, and I was leading the employee club part in Oracle. It's just the smile of the people. Like any employee club activity you do, I don't like limelight, honestly speaking, but by God's grace, I cannot escape limelight.
Yeah.
I have witnessed that. I put me behind the curtain, under the carpet. I'll do my work 500%. I'll still do, but somehow universe has been so kind that it comes out. It comes out that who is the person who has done it. And when you see there are so many people who are just content by end of it, They have the smiles at their face, on their faces. Like one of the massive show activity at Employee Club I was part of, which I have organized along with my team, was Shreya Ghoshal show, Shan show, musical show. And we did things from T, like finding a place, building the infrastructure, and talking about every small thing, where the fan will be placed, how the tent size will come, where the green rooms, ambulance, the license, PPL licenses, the police, the food vendor, everything, every small nuances when you get into, which is apart from your work. And this was 4 months work. On the day of the event, when the final felicitation was happening, and when you see on the stage around 23,000 employees along with their family members standing and smiling and cheering on the songs, etc., I think that was the soul winning event. And same thing I have received at Cisco. Any kind of.
ये कब की बात है?
This is around 2014. 2014, yes.
Wow.
2014 and 2012. 2012 was Shan show and 2014 was Shreya Ghoshal show. And these are like multi-CR event, because you are talking about the complete infrastructure, getting the artist, arranging their stay, accommodation, commute, coordinating with their team, their music details, what kind of setup should be there, everything to the T, So those things are worth the pain when you see those smiles at the end of the day. And then people coming and telling you, job well done. Those 3 words, I think, has been soul steering for me always. And when I moved out of Oracle, the point, what I learned, as I said, many things I unleashed about myself. One was that people told me I'm a natural motivator. Even if somebody talks to me for 10 to 20 minutes, they feel like, they are fresh. So that is something what I used to my positivity, that why not, when I can enlighten somebody's day just by talking to them and hitting the right chords in their heart and mind for the right reasons, then why not just bring smiles?
No, I think I can definitely vouch for that. Because I've known you well enough, I guess, in these past few years. And I remember when we were volunteering for the COVID, the second wave, right?
Yes.
When things got really out of hand in our country. And as part of one initiative within Cisco, we started this volunteer group, and we both were part of it and trying to help different families and all. And I remember, you would get on call with families, right? You would get on call with those families who were terribly affected by COVID. Maybe some of them saw death too, unfortunately. And how you could still muster up that whole courage and speak to those people. I mean, it was really definitely motivating, and it's just a testimony to what you were just talking about.
Thank you. I strongly believe in relationships, Varun. I feel it's easy to break them, but what is difficult is to make them, and more than that, thrive them. So it's easy solution for anything is breaking things, breaking relationship, breaking things, breaking the connect. But when we have make the connect, then why don't we think once before breaking them that why we have started it in first place? So I have very few set of friends, but whosoever are there, I have been long standing in my life for decade plus. Very soon I'm sure we will also go on that journey. Absolutely. But it's important to continue that relationship what you have built and started.
No, awesome. Of course, we'll talk a lot about the humane aspect of yours, because that is something which everyone around you take inspiration from. But again, coming back to, you were saying that right now it's like a handful for you in Oracle with the amount of responsibilities you have and everything, and you like to balance things. But मुझे नहीं लगता, because if somebody is already deep with neck deep with work and who's really looking for the balance and everything, why would you go on to start Beyond Gurukul then?
That's again connecting to my motivating factor. It started in COVID. Like while COVID has its own backdrops, but I'm sure for everybody it came as a blessing in disguise in some way or the other. Might be an iota of change it has brought in people's life in a positive way. Of course, there are families who have seen the worst, unfortunately. But that's the time it started, that I started talking to many of my peers or the people whom I knew in my network, in my past roles, stuff like that, and helping them find out what they should do as a next step in career. People used to call me that I'm stuck with this scenario at my work, what should I do, and stuff like that. And I used to just give the listening ear and a suggestion or two. I would not even say a solution, because solution is always, I feel, a person should find. You can ask the advices and suggestion to a number of people, but eventually you need to find the solution to the situation. I refrain from using the word problem, because we just clog our mindset by that heavy word problem. So I always say there's a situation for which we have to find the solution. And whenever I used to give them the suggestion advices, they used to tweak it or use it as it is. And then I used to get a message or call back that it worked, this happened, I got this result. Or people used to message and say, you know what, we were having this conversation the other day, you told me this, and I thought about this in X situation and I applied and it just worked wonders. I thought of you. Thank you so much. I used to get these kind of appreciation message. And honestly speaking, Varun, it used to put me in tears of being overwhelmed with emotion, that without knowing, I am just making that impact in people's life. There are people who have messaged me saying that I was reading a book and I thought about you. And thank you so much for bringing the difference in my life. And, that's where it started my gratitude journey, that it is very important to be thankful for everything universe has bestowed you with. I strongly believe in the supreme power. I'm a highly spiritual person. And that's where it started, that why not, when I am being that natural motivator and people are getting the advantage out of it. So why not be that mentor or coach for them, wherever I can make a difference. And that's when the journey happened, that I took up my second MBA with Cornell as an executive leadership program.
Yeah, that is another part of you, you are heavily invested in learning as well. You did your second MBA, you are an international certified career coach.
Yes. So that both the things
time
happen
milta kahan se?
So
you have 24 hours in the day. I mean, I hope you realize that.
Yes, I do realize that. And plus the work. And plus making sure that I have time for myself.
Yes.
Because I'm very clear in my priorities. It's first me.
Plus you also ensure that I get my achar on time from auntie.
Yeah. That I think I should thank my mother. There my contribution is little less. But yes, I make sure. Being mindful of this is one thing. So my priorities are very clear. It's first Heena Saini, second my family, and then my work. Because if I am taking care of myself, my mindset is healthy, my energy levels are high, and I am a powerful soul, then I think I can take care of my family needs and I can be happy with them rather than be sulking or complaining and all like that. Because eventually complaining doesn't help. You need to thrive through the situation. And if me and my family are good, then काम हो ही जाएगा यार. मतलब there is no way you can escape work. See, if there's a deadline, you have to work on it.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice. And you make sure that if you are mind-wise and body-wise healthy and you have that right energy, then you will get up early and finish the work and still feel content about it, that yes, I have achieved a day. Like today, for example, my day started being a Friday. It might sound crazy, but I started my day at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I had constant calls till 12:30, 1 o'clock. Sorry. Yeah, 1 o'clock. And then I took like 1 to 2:30, I take a break for my lunch, wherein I cook and eat and everything. And then I had to meet you. So, but I am content at the end of the day, and I'm fresh.
And I'm very thankful.
You're welcome. And I have 2 more calls in the evening, which is unlike a Friday. But yes, I am looking forward to it. It's a very productive Friday, and it's good.
Awesome. Awesome. I think all I did today was collect my bib for the marathon.
Which marathon is this?
The TCS 10K marathon that's happening on Sunday.
Okay.
So I think I just collected that. I socialized with a few friends at office. I came home, meeting you, maybe have some fun with the team in the evening, and that will call it a day. But again, yeah, not everyone is.
So Beyond Gurukul happened because of the same reason that why not so far have thought about myself. It's not like I've stopped thinking. Yes, I continue to think about myself, but it's important also to do a give back to the society.
Yeah.
And in a balanced way, so that you continue to walk on your learning journey along with taking the perspective from others. Because this coaching and mentoring things teach you so many things, like so many about other professions. There are so many new discoveries which happen. Oh, aisa bhi hota hai. Like so many new industries and domain you get to know. And best part is it increases your patience multifold. I used to have patience, especially after a few episodes in my life, but now it has grown like multiple times because you have to listen to people.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful part of this whole story.
And it is actually very inspiring and encouraging as well for anyone who would be listening, and even for me, that you can still follow your passion, you can still do things that you want, and it can happen while you are also kind of fulfilling a very critical role in a company as well, right? So it can all work out. It's just that you need to prioritize it the way it should be done. So which is just fantastic. Now you co-founded Beyond Gurukul, and which specializes in workshops and individual coaching. If I'm not mistaken, I'm sure there must be some more elements to it. So could you tell us more about the company? How is it helping individuals or the organizations, and what is the plan for Beyond Gurukul's in future?
So one is we do, of course, you said workshops. We do one-to-one coaching, mentoring, right from students of 9th standard onwards till the executive leadership. And when I say executive leadership, it's all about their profile building, resume building, and helping them establishing their personal brand, helping them crack the interview. Because what happens after some few years in the career, you forget to give interview. I have felt it after being in an organization for 10 years.
Same.
And you forget how to put across your own achievements in a profile. And it's very important to be strategic at that stage in life. So we help, or I would say we enable professionals unleash the potential which is hidden within them.
Yeah.
And try to help them see what they are not able to see. Get them that tangible value. So when I say resume building, it doesn't stop at like you give your old resume and we will just facelift it. It doesn't stop there. We have a proper discussion with the individuals on what their career journey has been, what industry they are in, what they have done right from the T level. It could be as simple as talking to maintaining the relationship with the stakeholders, but what value add? Because once they start talking, they are talking very open-ended, right? That gives us an opportunity to question them,
right,
and get the answers, and then finally build a result. And so far have got very good feedback, because people have got the value add, and there are people who have cracked the interviews, got the job, got the offer. And as I said, again, the end part of it, money is one factor which is parked aside, but what you get as a contentment that you could make a difference in somebody's life, if not for lifelong, for some point in time, and they will never forget it. So leaving that imprints in the heart of others.
That one part was very, very relatable about forgetting how to give interviews. After 13 years in Cisco, and I'm not kidding, okay, when I sat for the first interview, I was literally shaking. And this is me who has taken stage in Cisco with thousands watching. We have done it together.
True, I agree.
Thousands eyes on you, and you were so confident, but suddenly, when you have to face that interview thing, I was literally shaking. At least in the initial bits. I'm not saying that throughout, but that there was this initial
starting 5-10 minutes, that
initial resentment is there, right? So
yes.
But yeah, awesome. Now let's talk about some difficult parts in this whole journey so far. Heena, you are a cancer survivor, right?
Yes.
And your story has not just been an inspiration for me or people that know you, but even to a great extent, whoever has heard you, because you have taken a lot of forums, you address this, like I was talking about the EROs earlier. You were kind of leading the cancer support team in Cisco. Can you tell us how your experience with cancer has shaped your perspective on life and work?
I would say it is a journey from why me to I'm thankful it was me. It took me not a decade, but it's been 2019. So 5 years that my story was published. So it took me 9 years to come out of my own shell of not letting people know, or not being so vocal about it. I would not say not letting people know would not be right, but I was not so vocal about it. If there's some discussion happens somewhere, okay, I would not shy away from saying. I have been very dynamic persona in those ways.
Yes.
I always say there's a difference between hiding and lying. You can hide things, but I'm not a hypocrite person. So it's like, if don't say it, but don't lie about it. Very simple as that. So if somebody asks me, I would be vocal about to say, yes, I'm a breast cancer survivor. But coming out with my storyline, I would say happened in 2019 when I got associated with this platform called as Corporate Diva. And there were many things which were taken in part of those 2 days workshop what I attended with them. It's a women.
This is after you were recovered, or?
Oh, much after I was recovered. I was diagnosed in 2010. And after that, and Oracle has been one of the substantial supporter in this journey of treatment. An entire treatment cycle I was working. Thankfully, the organization and leaders were so supportive that I was given. So COVID, people saw in COVID, in 2020, what is work from home culture. I saw way back in 2010, what was work from home looks like. Because except for in the 9 months of treatment journey, I had taken only 10 days leave post my surgery, which was the most difficult and the crucial phase. Rest all the days of those 9 months I was working, including the day of chemos. I used to walk with my laptop with my head held high in the reception and say, it's like it so happened that I once walked and I asked that, I'm looking for the room and this is my patient ID. I just said the patient ID is this and where is the room? So he's like, madam, who is the patient? I said, I am the patient. So that nurse itself was very surprised. But yes, thankfully, resilience is my supreme power. Like I have gone to the ashes and have come up.
Was it too
So
difficult? You were doing all that while working, or you were way too determined?
I was determined to live that time, Barun. I think I would say that very
Wow.
clearly. I took this as a challenge that yes, I have to come out of it for my parents, for sure, for my brother, for sure. And I had to work to support my treatment. It was very important financially.
Mhm.
And plus, as I said, I was determined to live that. Let me come out of it. But yeah, there was a moment when I perished in terms of my strength after the surgery. And there were moments when I just want to die also. Because that was the most difficult phase. I couldn't stand up well. And I just didn't want to live that kind of life forever. So I thought as well, I just shut myself down right now. It is
This
easier for,
emotionally and physically, you were feeling that
yes,
drained.
both. I was very weak. And that 45 days were the most tough period of those 9 months. Uh, but yeah, I was blessed with the best of the work that time. None of the leaders have had this doubts that no, we should not give her too much of work, or we should not give her the difficult, crucial responsibilities. Of course, I had good breathing space in my timelines of delivery and stuff, looking at my medical condition. But there was utmost trust and faith from the leadership in terms of bestowing me with the best of responsibilities. And plus, I completed my MBA also during my cancer journey. So that was my first MBA. So I think resilience is something what I count upon.
What kept you motivated in those 45 days?
Those 45 days, nothing kept me motivated. I
How did
still,
you how did you come out of it?
only thing, I used to get nightmares, bad dreams. I still, if I'm getting goosebumps while talking about it. I used to just get up in the middle of night crying, howling, and all like that. And as I said, I'm a highly spiritual person, and my spirituality quotient increased much after getting into the cancer journey. Not that you remember God only when you are not good or something of that sort, but yeah, it certainly enhances, right? I have been spiritual person right from my childhood, thanks to the family values. Marisa was a thing which kept me going 45 days. I still remember it. My mother used to read it for me. And
Sorry, what was that?
Hanuman Chalisa.
Okay.
Yeah, so my mother used to read it for me, and that's when I used to go to sleep. But those 45 days were the nightmare days of that treatment. Even chemo was, I would not say easy, but post-surgery was a difficult period.
So yeah, again, going back to the
Yeah, you
original
asked
question,
something
like,
else in the question. We just
yes,
Yeah.
so like, how did it shape your perspective on
So
life,
as I
work?
said, journey from why me to thank God it was me happened that the founder of that platform gave me the wings in terms of why not we publish a story and stuff like that. And
Founder of Corporate Diva.
Corporate Diva, yeah. So Deepika Trahan, her name is.
Okay.
And I thought, I just told her, let me give it a thought, because I really never ponder on it, that my journey can be in motivational for somebody else. And because see, cancer, the time I got diagnosed 2010, it was still a taboo.
Yeah.
In tier 2, tier 3 cities, it is still a taboo. Fortunately, at least in the metros, people are getting educated about it. There is awareness, there are awareness session about it. At least people are openly talking about it. Back in those days, my own family was scared to tell the relatives back there. Yeah. Honestly speaking. Yeah. Because one is, nobody ever genetically got cancer in my family. Yeah. So I myself was absolutely not aware. I was naive to that extent, Barun, that I never knew that because of the medicines, they lose hair. I only learned it when I started having discussions with doctors and when I started reading about it. I used to be in love with my hairs. Like, it was like longer than this and very thick and all. And the day I lost my hair, I didn't stop crying 48 hours non-stop. Like, every other moment I was sitting and crying. And it took me almost a month to see myself bald in the mirror. So it's that acceptance for your own body takes time to come. And when the story was out, when she told me, you still pen down, let's see whether we'll publish or not, I still leave the decision to you, start penning down. It so happened that in one of the family event, I had a scenario, and then I got to hear this comment. So what, you got cancer? It is very common these days. Celebrities are getting it. And I think that became a trigger point, that it is high time that people stop taking things for granted, what happens in others' life, because I have only walked on the eggshells. It's easy to just sit and judge. It is easy to just body shame people. And that wasn't enlightenment even for me. Like, I used to really judge people based on, it happens, right? When you see some, first thing what comes is the appearance of people in mind, right? And you tend to judge. But when after surgery, I was told that you have a permanent swelling in your arms, you have permanent swelling in your hands. See, you can see the difference. It is like you cannot see the knuckles so easily. It is little swelled up, and this is normal, this is lifelong. It is not something which I can do anything about it. I'm not allowed to lift weights. I love wearing bangles. I had to just give up, because every time I used to try wearing bangles, it used to swell up more, and I used to end up in tears. So as well, instead of being thankful for my second life, rather I just subtract the things which are giving me pain. It's not like I don't get the pain now, and there's pain after every change of season, which is now I've started living with it. मतलब वो कुछ जख्म नासूर बन जाते, तो वो हिसाब हो गया. And I started penning down my story. First, it went for 9 pages, and she was like, I was myself sure, because see, you're pouring out your emotions on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And I was literally in the flashback. And when I sent it to her, she started crying, and she said, I want to publish this. Please think about it. One is just shorten it down. I said, okay, I also know 9 pages. Nobody reads, as an attention span is very less these days. I brought it down to 4 pages. And when it was published, to my surprise, there were many people who got to know for the first time that she has dealt with cancer. Because as I told you, the taboo was so big that when I went back to office after 9 months with that small buds of hairs on my head, here people in Bangalore luckily feels that, okay, you might have visited Tirupati, unlike North India. So there are many people who didn't bother to question this. And I usually maintain that demeanor that nobody can enter my personal life just like that. It's like I always say, my life is an open book, but who gets to read which chapter is my choice. So now I don't want to open this chapter of my life to everybody, that point in time. So there are many people from my own life circle who got to know, oh, I never knew you have gone through this. I got like SMSs, WhatsApp message, whatnot. I have a folder in my phone called as Precious Pearls. And any such messages which come, I take a screenshot and put it over there. And that is my motivation source, that I also feel down, right? I also go through the emotions, ups and downs in life. And those messages and emotions of people just lifts me up immediately. That somebody out there is believing in my ability so much, then why am I questioning at any point in time? And after that, I think it's just a history that happened. I got an opportunity in one of the colleges to address some 300 plus students on the importance of breast cancer, like breast health and stuff like that, which was a mixed crowd of girls and boys. My story was published in TOI. I was covered for a feature film by Biocon as an initiative of Hope series. And plus, I have been part of many support organizations where I support cancer patients. Like my phone number is being given, and they can connect me to cancer patient. I talk to them whenever they want to talk, or I keep a tab on their health and journey by just casual messages. So I have been speaker on multiple forums about my journey and how cancer can be a blessing in disguise also.
Wow. it's very difficult to even hear the emotions when you were talking right now. I can only imagine what would it take for you to actually say things that you were actually telling. So thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
It's I'm sure people will understand that that we need to talk more about these things, right?
Absolutely.
People should be aware of these things, that sometimes हम बहुत बार सुनते हैं ना कि यार ठीक है लाइफ में there is setback and then people are not motivated to do a lot of things, or but then here you are, major setback. It's not a small thing. ऐसा नहीं कि
No, it's
बुखार
not
हुआ
a
था.
small thing. My life changed upside down.
And
I was completely, as I said, I was thrown to ashes and I had to rise back like a phoenix.
yeah, so I mean, with what happened, and then the things that you went on to achieve, and you're still going after so many things. I think it is so inspiring, and I'm sure this will give a lot of hope and motivation to a lot of people. Even I'm not getting a lot of words right now to express myself well, which is why I'm kind of blabbering. I don't know. ऐसा मेरे को खुद को फील हो रहा है कि मैं कुछ सेंटेंस कंस्ट्रक्ट नहीं कर रहा, मैं ब्लैबर कर रहा हूँ, बट आई थिंक इट्स ओनली बिकॉज आई थिंक I'm too awestruck in a way with the kind of person that you are and how strong you are. So yeah, thank you for doing that and sharing this very very important chapter of your life. Now, अभी कैसे बैलेंस करते हो? How after post? I mean, now it's a
decade-old thing.
It's more than a decade now. So abhi kaise, how do you balance personal health, well-being with the demands of professional life?
So as I said, I come first and I make sure that I watch on what I'm eating. I eat everything. I'm an absolute foodie person, so no restrictions as such. Honestly, matlab khao piyo mast raho is something I believe in. But yeah, at the same time, I make sure that at least 4 to 5 days a week, for sure, I work out. And the days I cannot work out or I deliberately miss workout, then I make sure that at least I give a half an hour to 45 minutes of walk, a brisk walk. So some kind of physical activity is very important to keep my mind healthy. Body healthy will happen eventually because of those reasons, like working out and stuff like that. But the day if I have not worked out or not gone for a walk, I feel that something is like just stuck in my head. I'm not able to think of new things. I'm not able to pour the creativity in my work, or I'm not able to even read a book in case if I want to read a book. In last 4-5 years, post-COVID, I have become an avid reader. Either I listen to podcasts of books or I physically grab a copy and read based on completely my mindset. Or if I'm on a walk, then it's a listening mode. But yeah, this physical activity is kind of must. And watch out on the things. Overindulgence of everything is bad, is what I feel. I do drink also, but then that's like once in a blue moon. So don't stop, because very simple, God has bestowed me with a second innings of life. So as well as I make of it as much as God wants me to, and create that impact in the life of others at the same time. I'm
अभी
sure
कौन सा
there's
बुक
a
पढ़
bigger
रहे हो?
reason. Sorry?
अभी कौन सा बुक पढ़ रहे हो?
Abhi, there is a book called as Mindset, what I'm reading.
Yeah.
It is one
It's
of the
one of
very
the best sellers,
famous.
yes.
Yeah, correct.
I have a copy. I have not started it yet.
No, please do. It is very nice one. I am just half the way through, but yeah, it is very nice. I can connect to many things in that book. Relatable, which I follow, and some of them which I will put into the practice. And then there's another book which is in the pipeline. Somebody has referred me, like somebody has just advised Crucial Conversations.
Oh, okay.
I will read. I strongly believe that it is important to have difficult conversations in life, be it in your professional front or personal front, because that makes the relationship more healthier and more fruitful. People tend to run away from difficult conversation, especially with our Indian ecosystem of upbringing and kind of ecosystem we are in our family culture. And because of that reason only, we don't tend to do this in professional life. We run away from them. We tend to create those ego walls. We tend to create our own inhibitions in mind of politics and other difficult things without even getting it clarified from the other person. So please do difficult conversation. You never know. Other person might not be even thinking a percentage of what you are building the castle in your mind.
Yeah, I think
I always say, unless you will not ask, the answer is always no.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's important that we talk it out instead of building our own perceptions and threads in our heads.
True.
यार ये ऐसे होगा ये वैसे होगा ये सोच रहा होगा इससे अच्छा
हाँ.
बात कर लो ना जाके पता चल
और
जाएगा
उस बंदे ने 1% आपके लिए सोचने के लिए भी टाइम नहीं दिया होगा. Forget about सोच रहा होगा.
Cool. So Heena, I mean, with you, I know you get felicitated on so many forums, right? Not because of an emotional angle of being a cancer survivor or anything, nothing like that. You're
Nothing
a
like
very
that.
strong woman who's
No,
doing.
I have always believed and always told people who have given me the opportunity to say my story, I have never used cancer as my victim card.
Absolutely. And you're doing phenomenally well in your professional world, wearing multiple hats. Beyond Gurukul is one of them. You are constantly thriving, and no wonder you keep getting felicitated at so many different forums, which is so inspiring. Again, Women of the Future Award, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the recent one.
The recent one, the emerging women leader in skill development. So many more, and I know because I know about these awards because thankfully you have shared these things that you have been bestowed upon with so many awards and appreciations in the industry. What does this mean to you? Like when you see that kind of accolades coming your way, appreciations coming your way, people felicitating you, they want you on those forums. With all that has happened, when you look at this whole journey so far, because there's still a long way to go.
Yeah.
So how do you look at these? What does these awards mean to you? Do you think you feel more empowered to further empower more women out there, inspire more young people? What is it like? क्या चलता दिमाग में?
So two sides of the same coin, Barun. One is all the three awards which has happened so far in last 1.5 years one happened via LinkedIn. Somebody saw my profile, they got in touch with me, and then they said that why don't you fill the nomination? And they were like sick behind me, like I completely forgot. And I used to always think when other people used to get this award that okay, doesn't matter and how they're getting, that question used to cross my mind. But when she said that why don't you fill the nomination, and it was a huge lengthy nomination form, lot to write about yourself. And as I said, it's easy to say about others, whether it's a good or bad, both. But when it comes to say about yourself, especially good things, we tend to shy away from it. And you have to fill a nomination form. And this person was just behind me. Why don't you fill? Why don't you fill? Every second day, I end up filling it. I never knew that I will crack it through also. And the second, third happened as a reference. They were looking at my LinkedIn profile and they dropped me a note. Somebody reached out to me on WhatsApp or direct call. And that's when the story happened. all the 3 times, I just filled the nomination and I forgot about it. I was like, okay, somebody was following up with me as a gesture of gratitude again. I'm a very full of gratitude person. For every small thing, I can thank you 100 times in a day. So I just filled the nomination and forgot. And when suddenly the mail comes that you have been selected and stuff like that, all, of course, it's a happy feeling. So as I said, 2 sides of the same coin. Happy feeling, feel proud about it.
Yeah.
That whatsoever you have done in last decade, my transformational journey of life started after cancer. When I started looking life in a new light, that not a single day you should think of like you are less. You are, of course, it doesn't mean that I don't think like that. At days there are that I'm horribly bad about myself. But still lift up yourself, because one is second life, second is add value to others. So whatever I have done all these years, that's getting paid off now. Selflessly, whatever I have contributed, that's being given back by universe in some way or the other, and awards are these part of it. And it should not stop me from still giving further. It should not make me feel that, okay, you have achieved everything. So that's a flip side of the coin. That moment of happiness is just that moment. Trust me, Varun. It's like you might feel good about it 1 day or 2 days. Not that like I don't feel good about that now. The awards are very much in my living room and I see them every day and night. But they're good to look at when it's a weak moment and lift you up. But it should not reach your head and make you feel proud about yourself so much that you stop giving to the world.
Nice. Awesome.
So continue your impact journey, because universe has its way of to giving back. And I have seen that as a life example.
Oh, yes. I think I totally agree to that point. Universe has its way of giving it back. I think if I count my blessings, maybe I'll run out of pages.
Same here.
So it's only because I think, you do good, maybe you get good or whatever.
And if you're good, you just get good people in life. Because you see, it's people who make the situations, right? It's people who makes or breaks things. So be good to people. You will get good people in your life.
Yeah. Cool. That's actually a very good advice. But then, other than that, what advice do you have for a lot of people who may be currently going through a similar experience that you went through, or maybe facing some other health challenges or any other obstacles there could be in their professional or personal lives? What would you tell them?
So I would say own your actions. That's very important. Take the ownership of your own deeds, of your own experiences, of your own mistakes. And here, owner is nobody but you. And the ship is nothing but your own life. So be the owner of your own life. That's how we break the word ownership. And or if it is in terms of your career, owner is nobody but you. Ship is nothing but your own career. So if you let the ship land in others' hand, they will anchor it in different direction. So control it and make sure that it is sailing in the right direction, even if it tends to go away by the winds of life. Still, you can always adjust the sail. Take a halt, be there in the still water, let the waves settle down, and then move further. Because you need to own your life and be your own CEO. And here CEO means Chief Everything Officer.
Yes. Awesome. Thanks for that wonderful piece of advice, Heena. And big thank you for doing this. I think Um, it was a lovely conversation, which
Same
was
here.
filled with fun, some good anecdotes, some good experiences, emotional, inspiring. I think it had everything in it. And that is your life
Yeah.
in that nutshell, because I think I have always felt that around you, that kind of warmth, that kind of fun, it, a very safe sort of an environment I feel whenever I meet you, and in person whenever we. And I think I could get all these emotions coming across, uh, even through this technology, right?
Yes.
So it's just because that's the person you are. So thank you so much for doing this. I think it was a lovely conversation. And
Likewise. Thank you so much for having me, Varun.
you take care, and you do well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.